Crazy Framer here again. Today's video I'm going to show you how to build a wall. I have this 36-foot wall I have to build right here. I'll build it and stand it. So you can see I have this line snapped here. That's going to be the inside of my 2x6 wall. It's going to go like that. I have all these lines snapped here for my interior walls. It's going to be a 2x4 wall coming in like that for the interiors. So I'll start by cutting my plates. These are going to be called the plates, the 2x6 on the bottom and the top. So I'll start by making them flush here. Take a 2-inch nail. Just nail inside. I'm going to need 3 sets of these, so I'll get 3 ready. These are 2x6 14s. I'm gonna be putting my studs every 16 inches. So I want to cut these. These red marks are all the 16s. So I want to cut this on the longest 16 mark that I can. So I'll cut it to 160. I'll cut another one to 160. And then I'll put them both there, and my last one should be about 8 feet long. Square these up. Now I'll cut them. My saw isn't big enough to cut all the way through, so I'll just cut through the top one. Get it out of the way. And I have that line. Cut that. Now they're perfectly flush. Do that on this one too. Now I'll measure my last one. I got 111 1/4. I want to go to here, not this plywood. Cut this one to 111 1/4. Square that up. Now the first thing I want to do is mark all these walls where they're going to be coming in. Mark it there. Mark the top. Okay, now that I have that, I'll tip it up. Put the studs every 16 inches. So that 16 needs to be the center of the stud. So I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch this way, and that's where my stud's going to be. So the stud will be there. So every red mark, you go back 3/4 of an inch for the whole thing. Of these wall marks, I'm gonna put a stud here, and then I'm gonna write 2x6 down here. You'll see what that's for in a minute. 2x6 down. Now this one, because it's a 2x6 wall, I'll need a stud here and a stud here, and then a 2x6 down. More here. On the corners, I'm gonna go 2x6 up plus down. Then I'm going to take my speed square and transfer these marks to the top plate the whole way down. Wall's marked out and start building it. This wall has no windows in it, so I'll show you how to frame a window in a different video. Now I take my gun and make sure I'm flush here. I'm gonna put a nail in through like this, so it just barely comes out the end there, while keeping this on the line. Do that about every 2 feet the whole way down. Okay, now wherever I have one of these 2x6 down marks, I'm gonna need an L. So I'll take my studs like that. Make sure I'm flush here, and I'll work my way down. Start with that 2x6 one where I said it was 2 studs and a 2x6 down. Put 2 nails every 16 inches, making sure you're flush both sides. There's one. Put that on the 2x6 wall right there, like that. And then I'll do one for all the other ones. Grab some studs and drop one on every X. Now I'll start from one side, make sure I'm flush on the end. Get rid of this nail. And then I'll just go down the line, make sure I'm flush on top, and 3 nails. The whole way down. Now I'll do the same thing on the top. Now I'm going to put another 2x6 on top of this one. I'm going to leave out wherever I mark these lines. And I want to stay a little bit away, about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'll put 2 nails on top of every stud while making sure I'm flush here. Before I can put the sheeting on this wall, the next step is very important. I have to make sure that this wall is completely square, because there's no way to square it after the sheets are on it. So I'll measure it corner to corner until I get the exact same measurement. I am 441 and 5/8. So check it this way. 441 and 5/8. It's perfect. And it lines up with my other wall going this way, which means my floor is completely square. I'll just take a nail and tag it here so it doesn't move. I'll start with my sheet on this corner. Make sure I'm flush on the bottom and flush on the side. Just tack a nail. Now I should land half on a stud. Make sure I'm flush on the bottom, tack a nail. And then do that the whole way down. Roofing nailer with 1 3/4 roofing nails, and nail this down. About every 6 inches you want to nail on every stud. And the bottom. Top. Okay, now it's all built, sheeted, ready to stand. The safe way to stand it would be to get about 6 guys to help me. But you know my channel has nothing to do with being safe. So how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna use these 2 wall jacks. I'm just gonna take us 2x6 like this. A few nails there. Lift up on it here. And stick this in. Over here. Take my wall jack, stick one in about here. It's a little broken, so I have to use a piece of rebar. Like that, and just go back and forth. A little bit on that side, a little bit on this side. Almost standing. I'll take 2 studs, put one here, nail it to a couple joists, nail one here. Gun ready, make sure it has nails, and go. Oh. Easy. Get it so it's pretty level. Get there and nail it. And there you go, that's how you build a wall. Time to have a beer.